After 14 years, King of the Hill is officially back, and not just for nostalgia. Season 14 kicks things off with political jabs, awkward silences, and some extremely cursed bathroom moments. So here's everything that happens in episode 1, explained scene by scene. Because when Hank Hill starts talking about gender-neutral toilets and Dale becomes the mayor, you know things are about to get deeply, deeply confusing. The episode opens with Hank in a situation he's truly not built for flying. He's on a plane, trapped in a closet-sized bathroom, trying to pee. But of course, his narrow urethra is acting up again. He takes so long that people start banging on the door. Peggy's yelling from outside like it's a town hall meeting. He has a narrow urethra. He's trying his best. He shouts from the bathroom, "Don't share that, Peggy." Even the pilot makes an announcement. We'll be landing soon once that man in the bathroom is done evacuating. That man is Hank. They land in Texas, home sweet home. But Texas isn't what it used to be. At the airport, Peggy calls Bobby and says, "It was a 22-hour flight, and your father never fully emptied his bladder." Hank yells across the terminal, "He's our son, Peggy, not a urologist." Then they try to get a cab. But it's 2025, no more yellow taxis, just ride-share apps. Hank pulls out his trusty flip phone as if it were 2004. It doesn't even have internet. Peggy books the ride on her phone and tries speaking Arabic to the driver, Mohammed. Problem is, Mohammed speaks perfect English, and Peggy's Arabic sounds like someone trying to order shawarma using Google Translate. He just nods, annoyed, and drives them off into a new, confusing version of Texas. They stop at a Mexican restaurant, and Hank just needs to hit the bathroom and grab a taco. But the signs on the doors aren't labeled men or women anymore. One shows a stick figure wearing half a dress. The other is just a rainbow. Hank freezes. He stares at the doors like he's trying to solve a puzzle from National Treasure. 2 whole minutes pass. Finally, some random guy walks by and says, "It's all gender now, dude." Hank doesn't respond. He just quietly walks back to the car, holding it in like a true Texan warrior. The scene cuts to Bobby's Japanese restaurant, Rabata chain. 2 customers walk in. Bobby greets them and heads to the kitchen. He starts cooking, grilling, slicing, plating like a pro. The food looks fancy and smells amazing. Hank and Peggy finally get home. Hank gives Muhammad 4 stars because 5 would give him nothing to work toward. Muhammad, not impressed, gives Hank 2 stars right back. Petty war, engaged. Inside, Peggy finds a letter from Brian Robertson, the guy who rented their house. He says he left everything clean and dropped off some solar panel flyers. Hank reads one and grumbles, sounds like cult stuff. Outside, Hank runs into Boomhauer, who gives him a big ol' hug, way too emotional for Hank. Boomhauer introduces Luke Jr., his girlfriend's kid, who's still wearing a face mask for anxiety. Hank just nods, confused. Meanwhile, Peggy meets up with Nancy. Turns out Nancy ditched the news game and started a real estate podcast with John Redcorn. Peggy spots a shady comment about Redcorn. Nancy slams the laptop shut like it's classified. We find Bobby at a trendy restaurant where he's the head chef. It serves fusion food like wasabi schnitzel burgers and curry brat tacos. He's a hit with the college crowd. The college guy said, "Wait, you've got your own restaurant? Aren't you like 30? Bobby laughed. "Lower. 28, 21, Bobby grinned. Then he added, "I never went to college. I already knew what I wanted to do, and now I'm doing it." Afterward, Bobby decided it was time to close his restaurant, but he wasn't sure how to get his customers to leave. His partner suggested they could lower the air temperature to encourage them to wrap it up. Later, Bobby shows up late to frat party. Guests are already leaving. He's mad at himself for missing the fun. But then, he spots Amber. Suddenly, Bobby's in chef mode. He grabs a pan, whips up snacks, and wins the crowd over like it's Iron Chef, Dorm Edition. After a good time, he's ready to head out. But Amber says, "Nah, night's not over." They head back to her dorm. Things get personal. Cut to Hank and Peggy, confused, because Bobby accidentally but dials them mid-hookup. We all know what is happening behind the phone. The next morning, Bobby's riding high, until Amber hits him with the "this was a one-night thing" line. His heart breaks in real time. He nods politely, then power walks out like he's late for therapy. Outside, he randomly bumps into Connie. She's headed to Dallas for college. They haven't seen each other in forever. They catch up, awkwardly at first. Bobby says he skipped college to open his Japanese restaurant. Also, he deleted all social media to protect his mental health and ego. As they part ways, he tells her, "Feel free to visit the restaurant sometime. I promise you will have a great experience." She smiles. We'll see. And just like that, it's goodbye again. Hank heads back to the alley and runs into Brian Robertson, the guy who rented their house. Hank actually compliments him. You left it cleaner than Peggy does. Don't tell her I said that. Brian smiles. Just don't forget about that busted water heater. Suddenly, shouting from inside a house. It's Bill. Hank walks over, then freezes in horror. Bill answers the door, but looks like he's been marinating in pizza grease for weeks. He's morbidly obese, shirtless, surrounded by snack wrappers like a raccoon nest. Bill proudly announces, I've watched every single thing on Netflix, even the Canadian stuff. Turns out the moment Hank left town, Bill locked himself inside and stopped trying. He lives off food delivery and hasn't seen the sun in months. Hank tries to reason with him, but Bill refuses to leave. Before Hank can even process how Bill got this bad, Dale pops out of a trash can like a raccoon in a tinfoil hat. He's wearing a sash that says mayor. Yep, Dale won a mayoral election back in 2020 by running an aggressive anti-mask campaign. No masks on faces, no masks on anything, not even in wrestling. Boomhauer and Brian admit they voted for him as a joke. But he actually won out of 11 candidates with like 9% votes. Now Dale's on a power trip. He brags, I've been mayor for 36 hours and I already shut down every road barrier plan. Hank deadpants, why? Dale proudly shouts, because the election was rigged. I deny my win. Even Hank is speechless. Dale says, I beat 10 candidates in 4 lawsuits. Democracy works. Later that night, Hank and Peggy are getting ready for bed. Peggy sighs and says, everything's changed so much. I kinda miss my perfect little life in Saudi Arabia. Hank rolls over and mutters, that's just the jet lag talking. Then he's out like a light. Next morning, Hank gets a call from Saudi Aramco. They want to convert an oil tanker into a propane tanker, and they want Hank back in Saudi. Hank just says, no thanks. I've got enough propane right here in Texas. As Hank drives through Arlen, he finally notices how different everything is. There's a billboard for a lawyer offering emotional support for pet custody battles. Hank snaps. He pulls into Mega Lomart, ready to cool off or explode. Outside the store, a Girl Scout troop is selling cookies. Hank walks up and asks for Samoas, his favorite. The girl tells him they're called Caramel Delights now. It's more respectful to Samoans. Hank blinks. Makes sense. Then buys a box anyway. Right then, a contractor walks out with a shiny new power tool. He spots Hank and says, you look like a man who grills. He hands him a discount card. Call me anytime. Hank suddenly feels it. Something familiar. Something Texan. He smiles. Cut to Hank back at home, proudly showing off his brand new grill. He's removed every smart feature, touchscreen, and Bluetooth speaker. It's pure metal and fire. Hank says, now that's propane. No AI needed. Just then, Bobby walks up the driveway. Father and son see each other for the first time in years. They both nod, classic Hill-style affection. And suddenly, Bill waddles out of his cave. The smell of grilled meat dragged him out like a zombie sniffing brains. Everyone groans. Peggy shouts, get the hose. Bill wheezes, I smelled brisket. And with that, the family is, more or less, back together. Texas style. If you like this breakdown, I've got more episodes coming fast. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.